Today, Triumph announced a brand new member of the Tiger family, the Tiger 850 Sport. But it might not be what you'd expect. It replaces the discontinued standard Tiger 900, as opposed to being a smaller version of the Tiger Sport 1050. Triumph say that they hope it'll complement the Tiger 900 GT and Rally models in the same way that BMW's F750 GS sits alongside the F850 GS. In replacing the base Tiger 900, not only have they reduced the price, but also improve the spec in some areas. So in today's video, we'll go over the details and find out about all of the changes they've made. But before we get started, if you're new here and you want to see more of the latest new bikes for 2021, then please do remember to hit subscribe. There are loads of launches coming over the next few weeks, so be sure to subscribe to see those videos as soon as they go live. So let's start with the engine of the new Tiger 850 Sport, which is actually pretty much the same as the Tiger 900s. In fact, it's mechanically identical with an 888cc triple-cylinder layout and the same T-plane crank, which gave the Tiger 900 a new character, throaty sound, and a grunty feel in the low end. Now, you may not realize this, but the BMW F750 GS and 850 GS actually use the same engine as well. It's an 853cc parallel twin, which gets a different electronic tune for each bike. So whilst the 850 gets a peak of 95 horsepower at 8,250 RPM and 92 Nm of peak torque at 6,250, the F750 is reduced to 77 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 83 Nm at 6,000 RPM. Triumph have essentially taken the same approach here with the Tiger 850 Sport, with 84 horsepower produced at 8,500 RPM and 82 Nm of peak torque at 6,500 RPM, all achieved electronically. For reference, the Tiger 900 GT and Rally models make 10 more horsepower at similar revs of 8,750, whilst 5 more Nm of peak torque are produced higher up at 7,250 RPM. So realistically, the Tiger 850 Sport is going to feel pretty similar unless you're really gassing it, although Triumph described the new power delivery as more accessible and manageable. I'd say it looks pretty competitive when set alongside the F750 GS, with a touch less torque than the twin as expected, but more revvy top-end power. In terms of engine tech, it gets all of the same goodies as the Tiger 900, so the slip assist clutch, which gives a lighter feel at the lever, an easily accessible air filter for quick changes, a split twin radiator for improved cooling, and a 20-litre fuel tank, which is substantially more than the 15 of the BMW, as Triumph were keen to point out. Where the Tiger 850 Sport differs from the Tiger 900 is that it will be available with a dealer-fit A2 compliance kit, which reduces peak power to 47 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and torque to 78 Nm at 3,750 RPM. Of course, it can be removed and restored to full power at a later date. Electronically, there's a ride-by-wire throttle which enables 2 riding modes of road and rain, both of which affect throttle response, and traction control, which is switchable. ABS is also present, of course, but isn't switchable on this model. The 5-inch TFT dash of the base Tiger 900 remains, which is slightly smaller than the 7-inch version on the more premium Tiger 900 GT and Rally models, and it also lacks the ability to integrate with the MyTriumph phone connectivity system. Triumph said that they found that customers looking for a bike at this price point weren't really interested in phone connectivity. Now, that's a bit surprising to me because it is available on the recently launched Trident, which is actually the most affordable bike in their range and a couple of grand cheaper than this bike. But presumably there are differences in the customer base and their needs for naked and adventure bikes. The TFT dash does still get 4 different layouts though, so think of it more as a flexible, colourful display of the standard riding readouts as opposed to a phone and navigation system. A notable upgrade from the Tiger 900 that it replaces is the headlight, now getting the distinctive LED daytime running light, which gives it a more premium and modern look to the front end, as well as increasing the bike's visibility and therefore safety. Again, the Tiger 850 Sport gets pretty much the same chassis as the Tiger 900, with the same frame design, with a bolt-on subframe that can be more easily replaced if damaged than the welded subframe of the Tiger 800. The passenger foot pegs are bolt-on too. There's an adjustable seat which can be set to either 810 or 830 millimeters, and it narrows to the front for an easier standover. The windscreen height is also adjustable, and with a single hand making it easier to change on the go. The same suspension also remains with 45mm Marzocchi upside-down forks, which are non-adjustable, and a preload adjustable shock at the rear. It also gets the high-spec Brembo-style brake calipers, like the rest of the entire Tiger 900 range, which is pretty unbeatable at this price point. Wheels are cast aluminium as opposed to the spokes of the Rally and Rally Pro, as this bike will have more of a road focus, and that's reflected in the tyre choice. It's shod with Michelin Anarchy Adventure tyres, which are 80% road, 20% off. A 19-inch front wheel should roll pretty well over rough surfaces though, if you do decide to take it off pavement. The total dry weight for this bike is 192 kilograms, which makes it still the lightest bike in the Tiger range, and Triumph claim lighter than the F750 GS. I couldn't find an official dry weight for it, but it's listed as 227 kilograms wet, so their assertion could well be true. Whereas the Tiger 900 was only available in white, the Tiger 850 Sport will come in two new paint schemes of Graphite and Diablo Red and Graphite and Caspian Blue. Now, it's all down to personal preference, but I'm not normally a big fan of blue bikes. The Graphite and Red, however, looks really good to me, perhaps even better than the Tiger 900 GT, which is entirely red. I think the grey and red combo just really works and actually reminds me a little of Ducati's Panigale V4R. Elsewhere in the styling department, there's a new plastic sump guard as standard. It presumably won't offer much in the way of protection, but it does finish off the bottom of the engine. The Tiger 850 Sport of course gets the full suite of accessories with luggage options of soft, plastic and metal. In terms of comfort, there's a low seat at 790mm, a screen deflector, heated grips and handguards. You can add some crash or drop protection in the form of engine bars, a metal sump guard and a headlight guard, and there are a few performance and tech options like an up and down quick shifter, an arrow exhaust and some additional LED peripheral lights. Now, pricing for the Tiger 850 Sport looks pretty good, with it coming in at £9,300 on the road, which is $200 less than the Tiger 900 it replaces. Yes, you get a touch less power, but if you don't think you'll use it all, then you can focus on the fact that you'll get the DRL, better paint options in my opinion, and £200 in your pocket. Against the 750 GS, it comes in between the £8,600 of the base model and the £9,500 of the accessorized TE. Now, the TE does get more riding modes, heated grips, a quick shifter and a luggage rack as standard, but the 850 Sport seems to be in the right ballpark, especially considering it has a bit more power. But when you start to spec it up, it really is worth looking at the Tiger 900 GT, GT Pro, Rally and Rally Pro, as these are all really well equipped for the money. In fact, I've already made a full video about the details of the entire Tiger 900 range, which I've linked to in the description in case you haven't seen it already. So that's a quick run through of the Tiger 850 Sport for 2021. It seems like a couple of nice enhancements versus the Tiger 900 it replaces, especially the red colour scheme, although that's providing you don't care about top-end horsepower. As always, I'd love to know what you think of it down in the comments below. Would you go for this or the 750 GS? Personally, I like the look of the Triumph more, but I'll try to get round to riding both of them in their 2021 specs as soon as the press bikes are available. Let me know your pick in the comments, and if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll catch you next time.